Hey everyone, it is May 8th. I'm Adam and this is your daily dose of today. Today I want to continue along the lines of the importance of being precise in your language. And this actually harkens back to these sessions from a few weeks ago when I was talking about competition. And the reason why I'm referencing those is, remember when I spoke about how the bad side of competition can bring out the bitterness in you because of jealousy? Well, one of the ways you can actually test that bitterness is when someone else is doing well and it brings up a bad feeling in you, or whenever you're speaking with somebody, if it makes you angry or short or frustrated, pin down exactly why that happens. For instance, if your response is, I'll use some guy named Jack. So this could be at work, school, personal relationship, church, I don't know, wherever. Every time Jack is around, I get angry because he always puts me down. So if you've been following the last few days, can you detect what was wrong with what I just said? Well, if you haven't figured it out, I'll clue you in. One is, what did I say? Every time Jack is around, he always does something. And not only that, every time, always, but then the offense is very vague, right? He's always a jerk, or whatever it was I said. Very vague. And if that is your response to the way you feel towards somebody, especially ill feelings, then you really need to check yourself. Because maybe there is something in that individual that grates you and pushes you the wrong way, and you two just won't mix oil or water. But if you want to be successful, what you actually need to do is figure out precisely why that doesn't happen. And also be sure that it's not on you. Because if you want to be successful, you have to have people. We've talked about this several times. It takes a network, a village, whatever you want to call it, to be successful. You cannot exist on an island and then say, hey, this is successful. I mean, I suppose you could, but that probably does not fit in any of our definitions of what success looks like. But when it gets down to it, if we can then look and say, Jack really gets on my nerves because Tuesday he did this thing and it made me feel like garbage. And he has done that before. See the difference between every time Jack always does something that makes me feel like a jerk? Can you see what's different about those two things? Obviously, I didn't use hyperbole, and I was being precise. On this day, he did this thing that made me feel like that. Simon Sinek does a great conversation on this too, about conflict resolution. But really, I'm looking here from an attitude adjustment, a reframing conversation within yourself. And then you can sometimes, through this exercise, when you're having this monologue with yourself and analyzing these relationships with yourself, sometimes you realize, like, you know what? I'm just jealous. It's happened to me. These things creep up on you. You don't realize you are. Now, I really am not a jealous person whatsoever, at all. But it can even but it happens to me too sometimes. Sure. But if we commonly check our feelings, check our thoughts, and apply this rational feeling of being precise, why don't I like Jack? What exactly did Jack do to me to cause me not to like him? When we start applying that analysis across our relationships, I think you'll see, number one, It'll allow you to actually eliminate a lot of barriers, and you might actually be able to be friends with somebody you like because you realize you're just being a jerk. But also, number two, it gives you the opportunity now to actually address that directly with Jack and say, Jack, you know, I know we're all friends, and I want us all to get along, but listen, when you did this thing on Tuesday, it really made me feel like garbage. And I'm sure you didn't mean to, but hey, and you explain it. And then that gives you a way towards conflict resolution, right? And to eliminate that and repair those fences. Because you need a lot of allies to be successful. You need people who have your back, and not everybody will, but you certainly don't need people fighting against you. And every action that you can take yourself to eliminate an adversary and to potentially gain an ally, you need to take. This has been your Daily Dose of Today.